2018 began on a good note as sport across Africa and beyond took on a new dimension. You are welcome to the latest edition of the month that was, as we recap what headlined January on Kwesé Sports. Coming up on this month's edition,
we review some of the big headlines of the month on Kwesé Sports News.
we take aim at the World Darts Championship.
England bounced back from Ashes disappointment.
We got NBA action as LBJ becomes the youngest to clock 30k points.
We've got some ringside knockout action.
And we'll speak to some of the big African names who are ready to dice the ice at the 2018 Winter Olympic Games.
And later, we tease you with a mind-boggling trivia as the NBA All-Star Weekend comes through. The month of January featured some of the biggest headlines on Kwesé Sports News as Mo Salah was named CAF Player of the Year.
Mohamed Salah was named African Footballer of the Year at the CAF Awards ceremony held in Accra last night. It marks a memorable past 12 months for the Egyptian after being named both the BBC African Footballer and Arab Player of the Year for 2017. The Liverpool forward helped Egypt qualify for their first World Cup in 28 years and had a school renamed in his honour as a reward. He has netted 23 goals in 29 appearances in all competitions since joining the Reds.
In the transfer window, Philippe Coutinho moved to Barcelona, while Alexis Sanchez and Henrik Mkhitaryan switched camps.
Finally, the deal has been completed. After protracted transfer saga, Manchester United eventually completed the signing of Alexis Sanchez from Arsenal last night in a swap deal with Henrik Mkhitaryan. The Red Devils unveiled their new number 7, with the Chilean already set to bring glory to Man United.
Another player who has finally signed for his dream club is Henrik Mkhitaryan. The Armenian did not waste time in donning the Arsenal kit, taking part in a slightly less extravagant photo shoot for his new club.
The month also witnessed one of the EPL games of the season as Liverpool became the first team to nick all 3 points against high-flying Manchester City in a thriller. 3 days earlier, one Liverpool fan stole the airwaves with the Liverpool song that got everyone singing. And you simply can't help but love the rhythm.
Money, money. Money, money, do 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 do. I'm Bobby Firmino, but we so Coutinho.
Swiss tennis maestro Roger Federer claimed his 20th Grand Slam title after beating Marin Cilic 6-2, 6-7, 6-3, 3-6 and 6-1 in the final of the Australian Open on Rod Laver Arena. While Federer reached his record-breaking 20th, Caroline Wozniacki broke her Grand Slam duck, finally winning her first major.
And finally, we had Cameroon legend Samuel Eto'o with us, and he talked about Africa's chances at the 2018 World Cup in Russia, as well as the Castle Africa's 5 tournaments.
This is football. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I'm very proud of Cameroon for winning the African Nations Cup, even though they didn't qualify for the World Cup. You always want to focus on progress, so we will work with this team.
Eto'o says all 5 of Africa's representatives at the showpiece have the ability to do well.
All 5. Simple as that. Yeah, East Africa is to represent Africa. For me, I didn't have one.
I'm close with players from all 5 teams, and I would like any of the African teams to progress and bring the World Cup to Africa.
He went on to say he believes the 5-a-side game is ultimately for the good of the conventional one.
This 5-a-side tournament will really help the 11s game because 5-a-side is very technical, and for the players, if you want to be good, you have to be technical.
And now it's time to test your knowledge with our sporting trivia. The 2018 NBA All-Star Game is just around the corner. This year's edition will be held at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California, home of the Los Angeles Lakers and the Los Angeles Clippers. It marks the 6th time that LA will host the All-Star Game and the first time since 2011. This year, the format changed from the traditional Eastern Conference versus Western Conference format and instead adopted a draft-style format. LeBron James and Stephen Curry were named as captains due to being the leading vote-getters from the East and West, respectively. For LeBron, it marked an incredible 14th All-Star selection, the most amongst active players. And it is based on the NBA All-Star records that we draw our monthly trivia. We'd like to know who holds the record for the most All-Star game selections and how many did he play. We'll give you the answer much later.
Elsewhere, legendary 16-time world champion Phil Taylor's darts career came to an end as he lost in the final of the World's Darts Championship to debutant Rob Cross.
We'll go treble 18 here. I think he loves treble 18. Another double 16 for the World Championship, the moment he's dreamt of. Double 12 for a 9-darter, but in the end he was caught in the crossfire and he could find no answer.
And ladies and gentlemen, for the very first time in his career, we crown him the William Hill World Darts Champion. Ladies and gentlemen, voltage Rob Cross!
The month also saw England's awful ashes end with a huge defeat by Australia in the fifth and final test in Sydney. But the Three Lions bounced back in emphatic fashion at the ODI series.
In swing, what can I do with that? Do I jump across, go to the onside? That's it. He gets his 5 for Curran. He's been brilliant. And it's a strong celebration. Tim Payne, unfortunately, couldn't negotiate one. Right up there, swinging back. And that was the trade of Curran's bowling. Absolutely superb. And it's England winning one that they probably thought had got away from them at one stage. All out 247 Australia, and England win by 12 runs.
NBA action was also red hot on Kwesé Sports as LeBron James became the youngest ever to join the NBA's 30,000 points club.
And there it is. That was his 30,000 and 30,001 on that shot as we end the quarter. History was made tonight. LeBron James, 30,000 points. More importantly for the Cavs, can they get a victory here on the road?
LBJ became the 7th player to achieve this feat, and the Cavs lost to San Antonio. Similarly, OKC's Carmelo Anthony reached his own milestone by breaching the 25K barrier as the Thunder defeated the Pistons.
Paul George with a smile for Carmelo before he stepped to the stripe.
Hey, how about this? Carmelo Anthony and LeBron James were taken in the same draft. LeBron just recently went over 30,000.
Carmelo just hit 25,000 with that first free throw. Second on the way. He is over 25,000 career points.
Upward and onward, George.
Back to football, UEFA held the draw for the inaugural UEFA Nations League, with the group stage fixtures set to take place in September and November 2018.
We also caught up with Nigerian athlete Simidele Adiegbo, who will represent the nation and the continent at the Winter Olympics in Pyeongchang.
And I think for a sport like the skeleton, you have to get pumped up. To when you get on the line and you're about to go blazing down the track, you have to kind of get in this mindset of, I can do this. So one of the things I've been doing is listening to kind of some Afro beats, hip hop music.
Get in the zone.
Get in the zone. And that also actually kind of reminds me of why I'm doing it, the significance of my journey. So I'm there dancing, you know, it's snowing and people are looking like, who is this girl from Africa, you know, doing all this? But for me, that makes it even more important, because then I'm like, this is why I'm doing this. And it reminds me of that, and it gets me kind of calm and having fun as well.
Staying with Nigeria, we had the privilege of chatting with striker Odio Igalo, who has continued to give back to his community with emphasis on his orphanage home.
Well, it has always been my passion and my dream since I was young, and I'm happy the dream has finally been achieved, because when I was young back then, I told myself that if God blesses me, I'm going to build an orphanage for all the things I've been seeing back then. When I was young, playing football in the street and all that, you see some kids crying, the one they gave birth to, they throw them in the gutter and all that. So it was like a joke back then, you know. He said, if God blesses me, I'm going to build an orphanage and all that. So we just laughed over it back then. But when I started growing up, being successful and all that, those things keep coming in my mind, and I said, I'm going to do this. And let me tell you, since I've set my mind I'm going to do this, I've never had it better yesterday. God has been blessing me and all that. This project has started since 2-3 years ago. I thank God everything is done now. I've launched it and it's ready to go.
Another African who is set to shine at the Winter Olympics. We got hold of Kwesé Sports, who is gunning for glory as he storms Pyeongchang in confident fashion. Just like Simi, he is Ghana's first skeleton athlete at the Winter Olympics.
No boxing at the Winter Olympics, all snow and ice sports largely, which explains Africa's success being confined to the Summer Games. Enter Kwesé Sports. Ghanaian-born, Dutch-raised, a sprinter by trade, the 31-year-old started training in skeleton luge in 2016. Less than 2 years later, Frimpong will be the first ever West African to compete in skeleton at the Olympics.
Yes, South Korea, here I come. I've been dreaming of the Olympics since I was 17 years old. I missed out twice in the Olympics, first as a sprinter, second as a bobsledder. But this time I stayed persistent, I never gave up, and on my way to Pyeongchang 2018 for my country, Ghana. I am so grateful for my sponsor, Coco from Ghana, for making it possible for me to train towards Pyeongchang 2018.
For the first time that we have Ghana represented in ice sliding, Kwesé Sports.
To me, the Olympic Games is about giving people like myself the opportunity to go against the best of the world.
To some boxing action as Kwesé Friday Fight Night took center stage.
The thing that Elvis really needs to adjust is his footwork. If he adjusted his footwork, he'll be effective.
He's really trying to get the crowd into this. Last 45 seconds of this one.
Good work from Elvis Moya. The crowd is going crazy for him. And the only way to put that emphatic exclamation mark is to throw in something that everybody could remember.
Up. And that's it. I'm not quite sure if the fans know the fight's over, but it is over.
That's your show.
They know now. And still, WBF African Heavyweight Champion, Elvis Moya!
And you can hear the crowd right there.
And now Now it's time for the answer to this month's trivia. Earlier on the show, we asked you who holds the record for the most All-Star Game selections and how many did he play. The answer is the great Hall of Famer Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He was selected 19 times and played in 18 All-Star Games. Born Ferdinand Louis Alkindor Jr., he played 20 seasons in the NBA for the Milwaukee Bucks and the Los Angeles Lakers. During his career as a center, Abdul-Jabbar was a record 6-time MVP and a record 19-time NBA All-Star.
It certainly was an exciting month of sports action on Kwesé Sports. Next month gets even better as we bring you live coverage of the Winter Olympics. We also got you covered with the NBA All-Star Weekend as well as the EFL Cup Final. See you next time.